Hi guys, welcome to the Feel Good Kitchen. I'm Jacqueline King and today we are making nachos. But this is not your traditional heavy, greasy nachos. These are feel-good nachos, which means they're made with lots of wholesome ingredients, tons of veggies, so they're light and nutritious, but still so good and will totally satisfy your nacho craving. So we're going to start off making an awesome, totally plant-based nacho cheese sauce. And one of the main ingredients for that is sweet potato. Now, some people call this a sweet potato and some people call it a yam, but you just want to make sure that you get the one with the orange flesh inside, and that's what gives your cheese sauce a nice bright orange nacho cheese color. So to bake this, we'll just poke it with holes all around. And then I'm just gonna stick this in a 400-degree oven. You wanna put a piece of foil underneath just in case any of the juices leak out. So that's going to take about 45 minutes to an hour to bake, and in the meantime, we can make the rest of our cheese sauce. Starting off with a 1/4 cup of rinsed and soaked cashew nuts. So these have been soaked for about 2 hours, and that just makes them a little bit easier to digest. And to that, we're going to add 1 1/4 cup of warm water. Okay, so next we're gonna add these ingredients that add a ton of flavor to the cheese sauce. Starting off with a jalapeno hot sauce. But you can use whatever your favorite hot sauce is, it's just to add a little bit of a kick to it. And next we're going to add raw unfiltered apple cider vinegar, and this just gives it a little tang. And next, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. It won't make the sauce taste like mustard, it just gives it a nice savory flavor. 1 clove of garlic, because garlic makes pretty much everything better. So I love working with tapioca flour because it gives the sauce an amazing cheesy, melty texture, but it also really thickens it so that you only have to use a 1/4 cup of cashews here. A lot of plant-based cheese sauces are almost made completely of nuts, which can be a little bit too rich, I find, and a little bit hard to digest. So this is much better in my opinion. And then we're going to add nutritional yeast. So make sure that it says nutritional yeast on the bottle. No other yeast will work for this. This is a special deactivated yeast, and it has a really nutty Parmesan-like flavor. So that's what gives it the cheesy flavor. And the last ingredient before we add our sweet potato is a little bit of sea salt. So we're just going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon, and we can blend this up. So the potato still has about 40 minutes to cook, so we can take a little break in the meantime. So it's about 10 minutes now until the sweet potato's done. So while we wait, we'll make some fresh toppings for our nachos, a guacamole and a spicy pico de gallo. So for our guacamole, we'll start off mashing 1 small or 1/2 of a large garlic clove. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, you can just mince the garlic and make it in a regular bowl with a fork. To that, we're gonna add 1 beautiful ripe avocado. Just scoop the flesh from the peel. And then we want a big squeeze of lime juice, a generous pinch of sea salt. And we'll just mash that up. I like to keep it pretty chunky, but you can make it as smooth as you like. And we'll add about 1.5 tablespoons of onion. Next is 1/4 of a minced and de-seeded jalapeno. You can leave this out if you don't like things too spicy. Next is 1/2 cup of chopped tomatoes. We're going to put in just 1 big handful of cilantro. It smells so good. And then we'll just fold that all in. And next, pico de gallo. So here we have 1 cup of chopped tomatoes. And now we're going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of finely diced onion. Big sprinkle of salt. Just about 1/4 of a minced and de-seeded jalapeno. A big squeeze of lime juice. Cilantro. Okay, so our toppings are ready to go, so we can start to put our nachos together. I like to make mine with organic blue corn tortilla chips, but then I also make some raw chips out of jicama. If you're not familiar with jicama, it looks like this. It's a root vegetable. It's really common in Mexican food, and the texture is kind of like a raw potato. It's crunchy, but it definitely has a much more mild flavor, and it's a little bit sweet, so it makes an awesome chip. So anytime you're cutting something round, it's a good idea to cut off a little piece of it so that you have a flat base to work with. There we go, so it's more stable. Jicama is really high in vitamin C. It's a good source of potassium, and it's also a prebiotic, which means that it helps to promote a healthy gut. Okay, so now we have it all peeled. We're just going to, again, cut it down, and we can make thin slices so we can use them as chips. All right, so our chips are plated, and I have a can of black beans heating up on the stove, so we're ready to finish up our cheese sauce. So our sweet potato is ready. You can tell the skin is nice and wrinkly, and you can also tell when it's done when you can just poke it really easily all the way through with a knife. It's like butter. Okay, so we're just going to use half of the sweet potato for this recipe, and you can just scoop it right into the mixture that we made earlier. And we'll blend that all together. Okay, that's looking beautiful. It's going to be a little bit liquidy right now, but we're going to heat this up on the stove, and it's going to get that perfect nacho cheese consistency. So now we'll heat the sauce over medium. And you want to stir consistently, making sure to scrape the sides and the bottom of the pan so that the sauce doesn't stick. Okay, so now we just have to put it all together. I'm gonna start off adding our black beans. I use spicy canned black beans, but you can use just plain black beans or add a little pinch of salt and pepper if you like. I like to put about half on the bottom and then half on top of the cheese. Gorgeous nacho cheese sauce. So you can play a little game with this and not tell people what's in it, because they'll never guess. Actually, all of my husband's totally carnivorous friends always gobble this up when they come over to watch football. Now we can add our pico de gallo and our guacamole. How gorgeous does that look? And then we'll add on some peppery radish slices and a big dollop of cashew sour cream. And I have a video for this also if you'd like to watch that. How amazing does that look? This is our beautiful, delicious, nutritious, whole food, plant-based nacho plate. I hope you guys love it. Thank you for watching the video. You can check out the full recipe on the blog, thefeelgoodkitchen.tv. Thanks so much. Bye.